Hello there, my name is Martin Henley. This is my photography channel, Super Sharp Shooting, and I'm making a big effort at the moment to fix up my photos and put them somewhere else other than on Drive so that people can see them, so that there's a less chance that they'll get lost. Obviously they're backed up, but it doesn't stop them getting lost. They keep getting lost. And today I'm entitling, now we all work for Google now, because I've got a launch thing that I'm doing for my business in the real world, and I've got this thing, and Google wants there to be words on a page. Like, ideally there would just be photos, but then no one's ever going to see them, and then all of this effort is for nothing. And it turns out I'm terrible at writing, because when I start writing I just write absolute rubbish. I used to be good at writing when I was a kid, but we write so rarely these days. Like, I can write a slide deck for work, or I can write a proposal, but when it comes to actually writing, it's difficult. So what I'm doing is I'm cheating. So the idea is quite simply is that I've got 62 posts on my website, which are busy getting formatted, but they don't have any text on. The text is duplicated. So basically what I'm going to do, very simply, is I'm going to look at the photos, I'm going to talk about them, and hopefully we'll have enough text content once I transcribe it so that Google will be happy, and maybe it will show my photos to the world. So I'm talking too much, so let's just get on. This is what my photography blog looks like. I'm very happy with this. I'm very excited about the look. This is mainly work that I did in 2019, before what happened, or before the pandemic, etc., etc. And then I kind of got bored of it. So the mission now is, I've got, if we come here and it opens, I've got like, well, I think there's 64 now, 64 of these blog posts, but none of them, some of them might have some text on it. So what I'm basically going to do is go all the way back through all of these posts. So there's going to be 62 of these videos, 64 of these videos potentially, and there's going to be a load more videos coming. And then I'm going to shoot these little videos, and I'm going to talk to you about what I remember about taking the photos. And then Google will have some text, and then you'll have a bit of a story, and if you care. So these are all the things that you can look forward to me talking about, going all the way back to the very first time I left the house to take photos. Now, I've got a bit of an issue about leaving the house to take photos. Recently I've realised, actually, anything that gets you out of the house is good. So this was about leaving the house to take photos, but now it's anything to get you out of the house. It's been 21 years that I've been leaving the house, not as often as I should, but leaving the house to take photos. So let's just go back to, I think this is the very first instance. So this is the work that I've done with the formatting. I'm really quite pleased. This is Ada and Shoreham Beach. So I used to live in the UK, and I really don't like the UK, but the UK is definitely a great, beautiful place to take photographs. And where I lived, in Shoreham by Sea, which is just somewhere here, into the sunset where you could see, we were blessed because we were minutes away from the South Downs. So what I would mainly do is, on my bike, every Sunday religiously, I would get on my bike and I would go on the Downs. And I really enjoyed the changing seasons where, you know, it would be really hard ground and cold and fast maybe, in the winter, and there might be snow on the ground, and then in the summer it would be hard and hot, and all of the colours would be blooming. But the thing about the photography is that I could just literally walk from my house, and I was about a mile, I think, from the South Downs, but that mile was all the way along the River Ada, which is stunningly beautiful. So I think, and I don't know why, it took me, I don't know why it took me so long to buy a camera, because when I was a kid, I had cameras. My mother used to work in a photo shop, so I used to get like camera stuff for birthdays and Christmas and stuff. And I remember I must have had a slide camera, because I had like a little slide projector, and I had these little boxes of slides in them. And the thing that freaks me out about that now is, like, how few slides must I have had? Like, how many slide films must I have taken? And then what happened, like, the only way you could see these pictures is by looking through this little thing. It was the 80s, and we were excited about those things then. So this is the first time I left the house to take photos. We were here by the River Ada. I lived on Shoreham Beach, and these are the photos. So as you come across the bridge, the footbridge, I think they replaced it. This is the picture of the boats. Stunning, and this would have been an evening, so this was the light that we were blessed with in the evening. When we were coming through across the footbridge, this would have been. So we were walked out from behind the house, across the wreck. I'm struggling to remember. Yeah, without having to cross the Ada, then up by the airport, and then along the river, and then back probably. So, you know, this is a great photo. It's not a great photo. It's a nice photo. I like it. And these aren't all the photos I've ever taken. You know, I'm not going to show you every photo I've ever taken, but these are the ones that I still have. So this is great afternoon light. You can see the long shadows from the bridge on the boats. And then, this is Joseph. Joseph was my wife's brother's son, eldest son. So this was 21 years ago. So he's going to be 21 years old in this now. He must be kind of 24 now. I wonder how he's getting on. This is the same picture again. And then this is what I like. So this was taken obviously into the sun. It's sunset, and I like these settings. I like the oranges. I'm colorblind, so I don't really get the colors right all the time. I kind of like them. More sunset light on the ships. More shooting straight into the sunset. And then we must be back at the beginning again. Now we are. So Google, the reason we all work for Google is Google wants 300 words of text on each of these posts. So basically the idea is if I speak for 3 minutes, and I have been speaking now for 6 minutes and 25 seconds, then I will have those 300 words of text. So the idea is that you'll see the big image, then you'll see the title, then you'll see the video, and then at the bottom of the page, I'll transcribe and put the things. It might get more interesting than this. I haven't got many photos left from this period. The other thing I wanted to show you is the camera that I was using to take these pictures. I think it was a Nikon Coolpix. Now I spent quite a long time trying to find this yesterday, but I couldn't. So just to demonstrate, I think it might have been this one, but I seem to remember it was kind of smaller and sleeker than that, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe this was the 5.1 megapixels, the 3 times zoom, the red eye reduction. My one definitely had red eye reduction. I mean, maybe that was it. It had a silver button. This is the one, 2005, 2004. So this was the one that was available then. So I'm imagining it was one of these. The point, of course, is now I own like 10 cameras and 10 lenses and 3 action cameras and the Osmo Pocket and all of these things. But the point is, you can leave the house to take photographs. It doesn't matter what you've got. I mean, if you've got a phone now, you can be taking photos that are probably better technically than the photos I was taking 21 years ago. So it's just interesting to me that I took these pictures, which I still like today. They're not my favorite pictures, but I remember getting home and thinking, when I put them on the computer, I've taken photographs, you know, and maybe that's the beginning of stuff. So I don't think these are my best ever photographs. Obviously not. It was the first time I left the house to take photos, but maybe it was the start. And I've got enough text for this video, so I'm going to stop now. I'm going to record about 8 of these this afternoon, so I'm going to be back talking about more photos very shortly. And I don't have to talk to you about my camera history or working for Google, but I might have to find something else that's relevant so that Google will be interested to share my videos. Okay, that's episode 1 of trying to remember how I took photos all this time, a long time ago. The other thing that's interesting is when I came to do this work, in terms of putting it on the website and exporting these pictures, which are now lost. You know, the only place they exist now is on this website. I thought it was really important that you get the EXIF information, even though I was shooting on that Nikon Coolpix. So this was shot at 42 millimeters at f3.1 with a 94-second shutter speed and an ISO of 50. Now, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what those numbers meant until I did this work around 2014 when I learned to shoot manual. But it was 10 years, 9 years probably, 2014, before somebody showed me how manual worked. And we'll get to those pictures eventually. Okay, so for now, that's me out. It's been 9.5 minutes, which is more than enough. So I could probably just give you an edit of the text when I come to transcribe it. Okay, now I'm going to record video number 2.